Alright guys, we need to talk. Welcome to another Planet Zoo update, and there's just been published a dev diary again, and Frontier keeps being very awesome at crushing my plans. So I won't make this video too long, because actually I am really under pressure here. I've got football training in a bit, but I wanted to talk to you about this wonderful video, because there are quite a bit of new stuff in. Let me just quickly pause it here. So first of all, this is very interesting for you guys to catch up, because there's one specific thing in this video which really comes together with a talk I had at Gamescom with a developer. We talked about one specific thing. I'm gonna really talk to you about this one, because I think this is hyping me even more now, because it's the one thing I was really criticizing about the game. Might be, I'm not gonna try to be too positive here, but might be fixed, because we know that there is a system in place that kind of supports it. But anyways, let's get started and talk about what's going on in this one. So obviously I'm so sorry that you have not the sound. I'm not allowed to use the footage entirely how it is supposed to be. So if you want to see the full video, just go to the Frontier channels and watch it over there. I'm gonna link it down below in the description, and also in a comment later on if I'm back from football. I'm gonna put it there. So again, let me just quickly pause over here. I wanted to highlight this wonderful animation of the elephant in the water. I think this is one of the great things I've seen in terms of realism. I don't know, sometimes the game seems a little more comic-y, but this looks like, look at it again. It looks so dope. Like how the elephant really goes into the water, having the trunk back into the water. It's actually super cool. I know it's just a little bit of a detail, but I just love it. I also love that Andrew Chappell is on Planet Zoo. For those of you who don't know Andrew Chappell, he's been lead programmer and he's been doing amazing stuff for Planet Coaster in the past, so really cool to see. But here's the first bit we need to pause on. So I think most of you were wondering how they got this done, that everything just works so perfectly together in terms of how the animals do understand the inclines and stuff. You can really see that there is kind of a net structure going on over the terrain, and if we just keep on playing the build, you can see that they're using it to create different heights and stuff like that. So we will see this again in a bit, so this is why I'm keeping it running here. Let me just go further, because this is not too interesting for you guys. If you want to see the full video, I recommend watching it, but I want to go forward till the next very interesting bit. So we see a lot of great footage. I was trying to spot already things in the background. Sometimes Frontier hides things, but I at least didn't spot anything. Something interesting is this one on the right hand side here. I'm not entirely sure what this is though. It seems like a little bit of a animation flow for this one, so I'm not too familiar with the designing program Maya. I use Blender usually, so that's why I'm a little bit confused. So this is one of the indoor exhibits, one of the pieces. Many people wanted to talk about this deer. Since it's only a concept art, I don't want to say anything about that until I see a proper in-game model, because this is not more than a concept. So if we go a little bit further, we're gonna get another view on some of the great scenery items. Some of this, I was again checking out some stuff in the background. Nothing really to found. I love this banana lying down here anyways. If we go further, I just want to talk about this. Yeah, that's the next bit we need to talk about. This is one of the more generic sets we have. You can see this is Photoshop, at least a program I can define and I can definitely distinguish. So it's concept art, but you can see that those pieces are looking phenomenal. And we are getting a even better look now at some African pieces we've seen already in the trailer. Here you can see some more concept art, really nice concept art, and here you see it in place, how it is translated into the game. Yeah, I think we can all agree. But this is the one spot I wanted to pause it on. Wow, that was a perfect paused situation. I love this building. It's so jank. It's so generic. It's so for those of you who don't know why I'm so happy about it looking so jank, is that if there's one thing that we were lacking a long time in Planet Coaster, it was a little bit of the generic pieces. And it's so cool to see that they thought of it. So we will get this very generic set in game, and it's really badly needed. As you can see, it's not looking nice, but we need this for the backstage areas to make the zoo look realistic and make it easy also for people that don't want to abuse the pieces that way we usually do it. So I can totally understand that casual players want to just put down some pieces individually and then be happy with it without going too crazy into building stuff. I totally understand this, so that's why I'm so super happy. Again, you get a nice view of all the foliage, but what I already was talking about quite a bit when I came back from Gamescom. I think the choice of foliage is just insane. They improved it so much from Planet Coaster. It's just insane. One unfortunate spot though is you can really see in this area over here and in this view that the Jeep we've seen is definitely a scenery item, so no usable item for the staff members. That's a little bit of a bummer, but I think most of us have already been expecting this to be it that way. So yeah, nothing too crazy here, what is kind of disappointing us. But anyways, we are getting towards some more interesting stuff here. Let's keep running it a little bit until we are really at the footage we need to talk about. This is the footage we need to stop it from. Here you can see what I meant a little bit earlier in this video with the net structure. You can see this is basically the light gray area is the gray area where animals can climb on. So you can see that this wall would work as a perfect barrier for your enclosure, or for your habitat, I should say. I really need to get used to the word habitat. You can really see that how this is kind of working together with the poles that have been placed down here. So you can see that there are some red and yellow lines. I feel like this is kind of the yeah, whatever technology is in there that makes the animals climb it. But this is how they can understand to climb up and then go to this gray area on top of it here. So really nicely done. You can see how this chimp is really using the structure to go from one area to the other. And I have to admit, we were complaining about this quite a bit at Gamescom. That, not complaining, because we were told that this is alpha footage and alpha gameplay, so this is why there was a little bit of clipping going on with the animals, but they promised us that it is very, very good in the final version. And we, you know, for the majority of what I've seen, the animation was just impressive. So I'm really not concerned at all that it will be on point. And yeah, now we get our first look at one of those very, very nice and new animals, which is the Aardvark. Actually, this I've never pronounced this word in English, I guess. So or Aardvark, but it's such a cute animal. It's also a night animal, which is also pretty interesting. So I think people were going mad for nocturnal, like night houses and stuff, dark houses. So yeah, I really love this one. It's looking so cute. It's, I don't know, yeah. It's very great addition, another African one, and yeah, here you can see it's called the Aardvark. It's from Africa. It's living in the biome of Africa. There's actually what else in there? Let's see. Nothing else. This is Yaya. Yaya. Oh god, I get just always this song. Never mind. I will have it stuck in my head now for the whole evening. So if we go even further into the video, I'm just gonna skip it forward a little bit. As I said, I'm a bit under time pressure. Yeah, I brought you all the infos about the fences already, but I want to keep this footage playing because the fence tool in this game is just very insane. Here also we get a nice view on those little cups. Awesome animals. You can see how nice you can edit this. Some of the pieces are even recolorable, as you can see. Flexi-color, super great. You can use them actually for other fences as well. That's super cool. But also, you are able to manipulate the fence on the go. So, you know, you have placed this down already, but if you decide to make it a little bit higher at certain spaces because animals were climbing, you can do so. But here is the real deal. This is the real deal of this video. This is where I come in now with my little bit of extra info from you guys, for you guys from Gamescom. So this is the system what they put in place, how animals distinguish if they are seen or not. So they actually have like a working real-time viewport. I think this is where we need to stop it because that's the best view we can get. So this giraffe over here has a wonderful viewport to the left, to the right, and just very straight. And they can actually distinguish if there is, or you can see the lion over here. So they will search for places where they can hide, which is something that we've seen in Parkitect, what they've been doing with the guests, so guests can see if, for example, backstage areas are hidden away by scenery. And here's the point. This is one of the complaints we had, that the staff buildings in Planet Zoo seem to use a radius instead of actually a viewport thing. So what happens if you put down a staff building is that the staff building has a defined radius where it gives a bad influence to guests. So whenever a guest is going inside this radius, they are influenced in a bad way by the staff building. It doesn't really matter if you hide it away or not. There is kind of a system in place that the more scenery items you have placed in this radius, the less the bad influence is. But the problem is, it doesn't really matter where you put the scenery. You can just build like a gigantic tower out of very small pieces, and at a certain point you reach 100%, you can't, you know, hide it even more. And it doesn't really matter where you put this tower. So it's not this kind of system you would expect, because it would be so cool to be able to have like a proper staff room that is really within the market square or whatever, but just very nicely put into scenery. In real life, no guest would ever complain. If this is like in an African area and you would hide it away in the African kind of market square you build and really nicely theme it, they wouldn't complain. And knowing that they have kind of this system for the animals in place, we can only hope that this is kind of the same system for guests as well, because somehow the guests need to define if they see the animals or not. So I'm guessing that the guests should have the same system. And given the fact that the animals also are able to distinguish if they are seen or not by using the scenery, as you can clearly tell, this scenery item over here, the rug, is kind of blocking the view, as this is as well. So the white lines is basically where they can't be seen, and the blue lines are where they are seen. So they take into consideration once there is something blocking them. So I am really hoping that they might be able to translate the system to the staff buildings as well, so that if we fully cover the staff building and scenery items, it will lower down the effect that the building has to the guests, because that would make the whole thing way better for making realistic parks, and to be able to also put the staff facilities in places that you would realistically see in actual zoos. So I really hope that they're going this direction. And yeah, I've been talking quite a bit to the devs about this point. I feel like they haven't been really aware that we are wanting this system too badly, so I've been talking quite a bit to them. In a few days, I might even make a video on this, but for now we have enough content to talk about. But yeah, it's very cool to actually see that this might be possible. So yeah, from the talk I had with the devs, it was really clearly, you know, you could clearly see that they are wanting to take this into consideration. We have to see if it will make its way into the game, because there's not that much time going on before the game is released, and I'm pretty sure we won't see it for the beta, but never say never. We might just see it in the final version, because they really took it seriously. They took all the notes. I've seen them taking the notes, writing it down on paper, alongside some other stuff we will talk about in the future, what we put back as some feedback. We had also a lot of feedback regarding the passing system, as always, but yeah, I do want to make like a dedicated videos on all the stuff we have as feedback, also as a service for Frontier. I was putting this on the on the forums already and giving it to them in a written form, but I really want to make a video about this as well to kind of explain my points a little bit better here. Anyways, just a very awesome new info we got out of this video. So let's just skip forward. There's a little bit more of info in here. Yeah, as the enrichment system is really cool, but nothing that is very new to us. But if we go back into, yeah, this is again what we need to talk about. You can see now editing the terrain. This is the footage I wanted to show you as well, because this is so cool, because you can see the actual net structure where the animals can walk is updated live. So while you're building the terrain, the animals already know that there is a new way of going. And as you can see, different animals have different kind of properties in terms of which kind of incline levels they can take on or not. And the cool thing is, animals even have a memory. That means if you put a certain thing in a certain spot in this enclosure or in the habitat and you move it, they are very likely to go to the old spot first until they notice that it has moved to another spot. So this is pretty cool, and some wizardry going on there. Really nice, and I can't just wait to see how this really turns out in the game. You know, it's always something different when you really see it finally in game in comparison to what it is talking about. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you liked this very short breakdown. I'm so sorry I can't do it longer or whatever, but I really have to put my sports cloth on now and drive towards the pitch and just go for a little training. It's very important. I need this. So yeah, hope you guys have an awesome evening. But don't worry, if you want to see more of my stuff, there are 2 more videos for today. I've been very busy bringing all the stuff to you guys, so if you want to check them out, make sure to keep your eyes on the channel, because I'm not sure how I scheduled them, so might be that they're already out, might be that they're not, so you're gonna see it anyways. Hopefully you get the notification. If not, well, just keep an eye on the channel. Have a great evening, guys, and see you in the next one. Bye! So thank you for watching this video. I hope you appreciate that, and now a special thanks also to all the people supporting me here on that channel, making this all possible. You can see that on the left hand side right now, and also if you want to see more of my stuff, make sure to click that card on the right top now, and if you want to stick around, make sure to hit that sub button which is on the bottom right of the screen. If you want to see stuff on my social media, sneak peeks and stuff like that, it is on the bottom left on the screen. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next episode. Until then, enjoy your time, guys, and bye!